Good morning, Mess.
Hi.
How's...
Whoa.
Dude, have you never been on a microphone before? What is wrong with you?
These headphones are going in and out.
Well,
but I'll just be quiet. It's
turned
fine.
up the
This
thing.
isn't about
I
me
turned
now.
up the volume.
This isn't about me anymore.
Did we play this song already?
No.
I don't know if I like this chair. I'm just very moody today. I am. I couldn't even recall the date on the thing.
You didn't even know what year it was.
On the log? Yeah.
Early onset Alzheimer's, bro.
You think so?
Yeah, I'll take care of you though. It's fine.
Just lean into it.
Yes, I guess. Well, we're joined with our hostages, Jake and
Jake, Ripper the Clown is here.
Eric?
Not
What
Jake,
is your name?
Jake.
Michael.
Michael.
I'm glad you're listening.
Well, I'm paying attention.
There's a clown sitting in the studio. He doesn't even realize it.
I so didn't want to help you, man. I wanted to sit here and just see what names you came up with.
Okay, Melissa. So
It works.
Michael and Jake are here, and we're going to talk.
Ripper
the Clown. Sorry. Dress has him. And it wouldn't throw me off.
It's radio. I am dressed like him. I am Ripper the Clown. The
So
unpredictable
what's going
cartoon
on?
character come to life. We are back with comedy.
Brouhaha comedy at Vintage Villains.
Did you bring that in here?
I did bring that in
No
here.
other sound devices are supposed to be in the studio outside of my control.
Brouhaha comedy. Returning to Vintage Villains this Friday, April 29th. Doors open at 7, show at 8.
Yeah?
Got one of the awesome comedians here with me, Quiet Michael.
Yeah.
What's up?
He's not saying anything. He just
He's
said
quiet.
what's up. So
Par for the course now.
say something funny. I'm a jerk like that, huh? No, okay, so I know two of these women on
Yes, we've got an all-female roster with a special appearance by Quiet Michael. I saw this guy perform over at the A-Chord for Soapbox Comedy. Had to bring him in as a special appearance because this guy is just absolutely freaking brilliant.
here. Quiet Michael,
And,
that is.
Quiet Michael.
Yeah. Now, are you from this area?
So, I was kind of born on the run, man.
Uh-huh.
I'm just kind of from everywhere. I was born in Arkansas, raised around. I graduated in Bradley, Bourbonnais, and now I live in Paxton.
Oh my goodness.
I go to U of I here in Champaign, though.
That's
So,
what got you into comedy.
sadness, mostly.
Yeah?
Yeah.
At least you're honest about it.
Just, I mean, there's the old adage, right? Like, I do comedy because it's a lot cheaper than therapy.
Yeah.
I think it's more effective. That's the way it's worked for me. I wanted to, I lived a crazy life, man. I was in the Army for 8 years.
So was this guy? Not 8. No, 15.
13.
Yeah.
Wow. It's a long time, brother.
It is.
So, have you ever heard of Waka?
Waka Flocka Flame? The presidential?
That's exactly not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
It was White House
He's running for-
Communications.
right on.
I did 4 years at the White House Communications Agency. Traveled the world, and I ended up.
This dude's a spy.
Yeah,
I
awesome.
ended up with all these stories, right? I had all these crazy stories, and nobody wanted to listen to all of them, especially because I was making up a lot of the details.
So he's
He's the only comedian.
That's the whole thing about, like, what's his name? Chuck Barris. He just said he was a spy because they can't say you're not.
Right. It's great. This is the best cover ever. Yeah, I actually did. I was published this year. A book called Heart of a Veteran, and
That's awesome.
You need to get to
I know.
work, friend. This guy wants to write a
No,
book.
but mine's gonna be about like all the just ridiculous things that soldiers.
I bet his is about that.
that's what my routine is about.
Right on.
Yeah, that's what makes it. That's what
The
makes it
general
so awesome.
population would be just
But
shocked.
every story is your story. So, I mean, it's your story.
But again, this isn't about me, so let's get back.
Yes.
You know,
Eric, quiet Eric. No,
Seeing Quiet Michael
Quiet
perform,
Michael.
I really enjoyed what he did. I thought the stories he told were beneficial, not just for you, Michael, but for the audience, people who are dealing with PTSD, people who have been through similar experiences. I really admire and respected that. It was a hilarious act, but at the same time, it's important. And
Yeah,
that's why
when
I
you
wanted
can
to...
turn a light on it and make it, I'm sure it's not humorous, but I don't know what these people go through, but when you can bring comedy to something that is terrible,
Yes.
that's a good thing.
Well, I
Yeah.
think it's important to
That's an art
recognize what is funny in and of itself, what's intrinsically funny, and what deserves to be scorned. There's some things that need to be turned, pointed at, and laughed at. And so this is one thing that I've done. I suffer from PTSD. I'm a disabled veteran, and I was wounded in Iraq. Like I said, lots of stories. But one thing that I found to be very important for me was I had to find a way to fit this into the rest of my life, right? And so the way that I did that, you asked why I got into comedy, and I said sadness, but it's not exactly wrong. I think some things need to be laughed at. It was very adaptive for me to point at these insane, absurd symptoms that I deal with and say, like, this is absurd. Call it out for what it is. Make light of it. Laugh at it. Point at it and laugh at it, because it should be laughed at. It should be made fun of.
Yes.
Not the people, but the thing that troubles us.
Yes,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So when are you guys going to be there?
This Friday night, April 29th.
That's good.
Yes.
Okay, well, we're going to play some music, and since you guys are officially my hostages now,
Okay.
I'm going to play.
Have you ever had a clown hostage before?
Sounds like a great time. Hey, check this out. Never mind, I'll tell you. Okay, since you're my hostages, oh crap.
Point on the balloon animal. Where it hurts.
We're in quid pro quo stuff. I'm going to
Keep
force
away
you
from the
guys-
animal balloons.
We're going to get back to the music here in a second, but I'm going to make you listen to some of my songs. Since, see, now
We are hostages.
Yeah, now.
Yeah, we are hostages for real.
Okay.
Angry, angry man.
Okay, so here.
I want to hear your demo, Chad.
Okay, yeah, I can carry it. It's like Kirk Van Houten's Sad Dad, but only different. Okay, so you're listening to 887.
Mid-morning meds.
We're in studio with Ripper the Clown and Quiet Michael. Here we go. All right, get back and pay some bills that don't exist.
It's starting to feel funky all of a sudden.
It is.
Clean, y'all pay special attention because this one has a certain message. I get tired of people talking about bad words and bad language.
This is what they call chilling.
They're only words. It's the context that counts. It's the user.
True that?
Man. The God right there. Carter.
Hey, it's on here. Mike's hot.
Good.
So watch your mouth. See how I'm censoring you? And like if the whole thing was about not being
USA.
censored? Yeah, we're back. We got, who do we got here? Quiet Michael. I mean, well, why do I want to call you Eric?
I don't know.
And
Eric?
Ripper the Clown. Are you going to play a sound? I will
I am,
grab that
I am.
thing and throw it across the room.
Comedy at Vintage Villains.
Did you type that in something?
No. And hey, I'm sending you my love today. I hope you're doing well.
That's nice. Who are you talking to?
I think that's who you just heard.
That's who you just heard.
Okay, so this is Brouhaha Comedy Show 4 at Vintage Villains. It's 126 North Vermilion.
Downtown
And it's
Danville.
sponsored by Downtown Danville, Bowers Tree Experts.
Well, we've got the Barber Shop in
Farmers
Westville.
Market.
Barber Shop in Westville is our main sponsor.
Good deal.
And we've got Cafe 13 downtown Danville.
I got a song about them. I'm going to make you sit through that.
We've got Bowers Tree Experts as sponsors. Downtown Danville Farmers Market. Farmers Market
They're in
starts
the song. They're
May
in the song.
14th. And Frozy's Fat Calf Frozen Yogurt. So yeah, and we got a lot of great comedians coming out.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Stephanie Katcher.
Stephanie
She was a
Katcher.
class ahead of me in high school.
She is Stephanie Katcher. She's an author. You know this.
Yes.
And
she's been on the show with us.
Yes, she has.
Yes.
Wonderful,
Called
wonderful
in.
woman.
She called in. Something, her book is about love or something.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Remember that?
On Valentine's Day.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was. I listened to that. And she's actually going to be making her official comedy debut. She received the 4th place. She tied for 4th place with Pamela Adam at the Pop Goes Culture Variety Show in June we did at Vintage Villains. And the crowd was brutal that night, and they loved what Stephanie did, so she's making her official debut at Brouhaha 4 on Friday. We've got Jessie Long returning. She's
been in here?
Yeah, she has.
Man. Yeah, she's a fantastic comic.
Yeah.
I've worked with her all over town.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's wonderful, sweet girl. She became a really quick fan favorite at Vintage Villains.
Yeah.
As is Shawna B. She'll be at the show, and then headlining Julie Megan Sullivan with their comedic singing. And if you have not heard Julia, you'll be in for a real treat.
That's cool. So, what do you think makes a comedian good? Is it riffing? Is it the way they tell a story? I mean, you obviously work on your material, right?
Yes,
And it's
yeah.
similar to
Endlessly, yeah.
it's similar to when I do theater.
Mm-hmm.
To like you're basically monologuing.
Yes.
Like what do you what
I
what is
carry
it-
around a book too.
when you see somebody, what is it that you're looking at?
Yeah.
Tell me about the craftsman.
I think
Because I know you don't want this.
Right.
You know?
Dead air's back.
Yeah, exactly. In relation to the show, I think all of these performers bring something unique and diverse. They all have a different view of the world. They all have a different way of presenting their material and way to present their storytelling. And that's why when I do a show, I have such a diverse group of performers, because I want the audience to see something different with each performer. I don't want them to see just a cookie cutter show, which, you know, we've all been to them and they suck. And so that's, to me, that's what makes a good show a good show. When you have comedians
to the broader question of what is a comic, I think like Ricky Gervais has a great quote. He says that a good comedian, a great comedian, what he does is he points to the audience and he tells them there's nothing wrong with you. I think that this is really at the heart of what makes us laugh the most whenever you're listening to a comic, is when they point to something, they talk about a thought that you have, a feeling that you feel that maybe not all of us are willing to face in the moment, and they tell the truth, they say it out loud, and when they say it out loud, it communicates to the audience who've all felt some version of that emotion, and they feel inside themselves, they feel, hey, there's nothing wrong with me. Other people feel this way, they have these weird thoughts, they have these weird things happen to them, they have bad luck, you know, whatever it is, you know.
Even the most weird and random circumstance can be twisted into something relatable to everyone in that crowd.
And the most normal thing can be twisted into something weird that is also relatable, because everybody feels weird sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
You want to feel me?
Are you saying that you are the physical embodiment of weird?
You know what? There are so many people that would agree with you on that one.
Then I have felt you many times.
You know, there's a great quote from W.C. Fields, and I don't know it verbatim, but it's basically that
Don't work with children and animals?
There is one about that, but the best quote for me is...
Because they steal the show, that's why.
Yes, something to the effect of that the best comedy comes from the worst pain.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm paraphrasing, but that is, I think, how the majority of the comedians view their material.
Pain plus time is the formula, right? Like pain plus time equals comedy.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, if you guys have just tuned in and you're listening to us in your cars, driving around, hating your lives, you want to feel better about yourself, go to this Brouhaha Comedy Show 4 at Vintage Villains in downtown Danville.
Yeah. And you know what? Vintage Villains is the best venue in East Central Illinois for entertainment. We're talking music, comedy. They've got so many great shows coming up.
Just a shop for comic books.
Exactly.
Like,
you know what?
Another great thing you can do there.
You know what? They keep hearing from all these nationally touring bands that they've never performed at a cooler venue.
Yeah.
And they hear this consistently. So you've got, on one side, you've got comic books, video games of all eras, DVDs, movie posters, toys, and then on the opposite side you have a venue with old classic video games and pinball games.
That's
around the
really
peripheral.
cool right there. To go in there and you can just play any of those
Yeah,
games.
and you can play them for free.
And it kind of brings together all these things that naturally go together anyway. Like, we're all into, like, there's so many of us that are comics that are nerds who are into heavy metal. And so then you have, like, they're this heavy metal venue sometimes. Then you also have all of us comics who are nerds and we're into comic books. And then you have, like, comedy and rock and roll have always gone together, right? I mean, Barry Crimmins, you know, toured nationally with rock and roll bands. Big J. Okerson opened for, I think it was Rob Zombie, man. Like, he's like, you have all of these, you know, Vintage Villains brings together all these elements that circle each other anyway.
Yeah, it's just like the perfect place. It's the perfect venue.
Yeah. So, okay, we're going to get back to the music right now. You're listening to 88.7. I'm sorry, am I interrupting
No,
you?
you're fine.
Oh, wait, I forgot.
We're your hostages, so you can do whatever you
This
want.
Friday, Brouhaha Comedy, Vintage Villains in Danville.
Okay, you guys are going to stick around a little bit longer,
We
right?
can.
Yeah,
Okay.
man.
Sweet.
See what time it is. Okay, yeah. Okay, so you said it. You're my hostages. Okay, this is a song. This is a song called "Vintage Villain."
More from the chat demo.
Yes, and then hey, you say. Okay, I'm gonna go to your show now. Now you've done it. I'm gonna go. Yeah,
I just earned myself a heckler.
yeah, buddy. I don't knock your art form.
No, that's great. Come
How much
heckle
is
me.
this?
Let's see me
How much do I got to spend on this?
$8 in advance or
I'm doing
10
you a
at the
service
door.
right now. I'm doing you a service right now, hawking your wares.
I know it, man.
Okay,
I know it.
so just you.
This is from Chad's
I
1999
said I want to hear the
studio
demo.
So it
I-
dropped.
My mom and dad were mean to me.
We're going to be the hostages that get kicked out of here.
He's so angsty.
Most definitely, probably. You know, don't leave your Facebook open if you share computers with people. Just don't do it,
Especially if you work at a radio station.
because we do stuff like that.
This is the mid-morning best on 88.7 WPCD.
He's working. It's children, my friend.
Children what?
When I was a child, I talked as a child. I don't know what quote is that.
That's from the Bible.
Is that?
That's the Bible.
Oh,
I thought as a child, but now I'm a man. I put away childish things.
I don't know that.
How did you know that?
I don't
know.
You're inundated
It's
with.
weird.
You know what's crazy? Shakespeare. How much stuff he or is in our cultural vernacular.
That is crazy. Interesting.
Stop. Stay in
That's the first
that.
time I've said interesting today.
His lexicon.
Why is it interesting?
I don't-
10 times?
Describe why it's
So
interesting.
one person has impacted
What I'm
our
saying-
vocabulary so much is interesting, Chad.
I just said you're saying the thing that I said.
I'm agreeing with you.
No, but what I'm saying is when
Oh.
you use the phrase interesting, be able to explain why it's
I just
interesting.
did.
No, you were saying
so
the thing that
angry.
I told you. You were saying the thing that I told you.
Why are you so mad?
But people, I'm mad because people
need a
just
hug.
say it's interesting.
You need a hug.
Shut up.
Shut up. See, it made you
Have
happy.
you ever hugged a clown before?
Oh my God.
I only hug clowns if they let me sit on their lap.
I don't think I'm gonna let you do that.
That's right. You like wrestling? Cause in Homer on May 14th, we're gonna go see the wrestling show. But if you can't do that, you need to get down to Vintage Villains this Friday.
April 29th.
Yeah. Hey, I want to thank you guys for coming in. I'm
Yeah,
probably gonna
thanks for having us.
kick you out of here.
Oh,
I mean,
we're
'cause-
getting released. The hostages are free.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Our demands have been met.
that is
He got his clown hug and he's good.
That is a Stephen, what's his name? Steve Martin bit. It's interesting. I was listening to Steve Martin. I also was listening to Bill Hicks. You know, since we're talking about
Yeah.
comedy.
Great, man.
What's crazy is how many. It's got to be hard to come up with something fresh and original, like songs. Like what's his name talks about songs in his bit. Doug Stanhope.
Another great. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, the reference with the Steve Martin and I think either it's Robin Williams or Bill Hicks, but one of them they talk about fast food. How we're just talking. Don't say the name of the restaurant because we don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
You know. But anyway. How they talk about the same thing, and it's like, oh my goodness, did this person steal, or what do they call that when somebody
Plagiarize?
no, like
Appropriate?
Mencia like got in trouble by
yeah.
Rogan.
Yeah, yeah.
Eh,
Ripping off other comics. right?
Yeah. I didn't know if they had a name for that. Is there a name for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think
I think plagiarism would be.
Plagiarism,
probably
ripping
good.
off.
Yeah.
stealing, joke
Yes.
stealing. I mean,
Yeah.
just straight joke stealing. The thing is, to answer the broader question, I think that there is certain topics, right, like relationships or things that every comic
Yeah.
talks about.
Yeah.
Every comic seems to have this "I know what I look like" bit. Like, I
Yeah.
know what I look like,
Yeah.
but you know, there are certain
And-
themes.
I mean,
Penis
yeah,
jokes.
There's
Right,
just, there's
right,
just
of course.
some topics that are just out there in the public domain that,
Right.
yes, that everyone's going to do
But
jokes
coming
about.
up with the original material was hard. I've been writing music for 20 years now, and that's always been hard. Coming up with new songs or writing a song and then going, how is this not exactly like the song I just wrote 2 months
Yeah.
ago? That was always a struggle for me. But comedy's not that way.
Do you play? Do you play while with your comedy?
No,
You
no.
keep the two separate.
Yeah, I actually, to be honest with you, when I found comedy, I really stopped. I did not on purpose. It just seemed like the faucet shut off with the creativity as far as writing music. I think I was writing music really looking for comedy. I didn't know it at the time.
That's cool.
But comedy hasn't been that way for me. For me, comedy, as long as my life is new and changing, which it always is, that's really the nature of life.
Every
then
day is a new day. I always
never
say
run out of
that.
material.
Now I'm
And
getting
you know
in a
what?
better mood.
Every day
Thank
is
you.
new fodder
It's interesting,
for
right.
whatever happens, whatever weird,
Yeah,
crazy
unless
thing
weird
happens.
things are going to stop happening to me all
Yeah.
of a sudden, which I don't think I'm in danger of.
Yeah,
Then everything should be fine.
lifetime of material and a lifetime of material ahead of me. Trust me.
right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, hey guys, Ripper the Clown, Quiet Michael, thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having
If you
me.
want to
Thanks,
see two of these guys and some other great artists or comedians, go down here to the Vintage Villains this Friday. What time's it start?
Doors open at 7, show at 8.
Okay, yeah. So,
$8 in advance, 10 at the door. Julie, Megan Sullivan, Jesse Long, Shawna B, Stephanie Katcher, Quiet Michael, Ripper the Clown hosting.
do you feel better now?
I do.
Did you get that out of your system? Partner?
do.
That's why they're here.
Don't do it. Oh, ugh.
I had to sneak that in one last time.
Yeah, okay. You're listening to
Gotta
Mid
be
Morning
Patrick.
Mess on 88.7. We have to get back to the music. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
We'll,
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, stuff's happening.
No, it's not.
Oh,